everybody, and welcome to your online Physics 1105 lab course. So I'm Professor Schenk, and I'll be instructor for this lab. So I want to give you a little intro to the class. Everything runs in this class through Moodle. It's got like Blackboard or Canvas, if you've ever seen those. And you can access it by logging in to Moodle. Right here, up here, you can see moodle.randolphcollege.edu. And then you'll log in with your your Randolph College username and password. Now, if you don't know those, you're probably not even getting this video. So, but if you have any trouble logging in, you can call the Randolph College main number and ask for the IT help desk, and they will help you. Okay. But your login is going to be the first part of your email address. So for instance, my email address is kshank@Randolph College. So kshank is going to be what I put in the Moodle login and then my password. Okay. Well, I hope that you have no troubles getting in. Please email me and better yet, call IT help desk. Okay. So here's what it looks like. So basically, everything about the course, all your assignments, i.e. you're going to be doing labs, taking some quizzes, doing some lab reports, all of that is run through this site, Moodle site. So here's what it looks like when you log in. Now, this is the teacher view, so it's going to look a little different for you. So the first thing you're going to see is general course information. There's a syllabus. There'll be a link to this video here, but it's not on here yet. This is for office hours, right? The Zoom video conference link. It's my meeting room. The link never changes, so you'll always be able to get me at that link. There's things like some information about how we grade your formal lab reports. Okay? Also very important is you're going to be getting a lab kit from us very soon. And as soon as you get it, you should check that you have all the things in the lab kit that you should have. So for instance, if you're only taking 1105 and you're not moving on to 1106 in the next session, the next 7 weeks after this session, you'll only have certain lab kit items, and that's in this contents here. If, however, you have already signed up for both 1105 and 1106 labs, you'll have all the equipment that you need for both. Okay. Make sure that you check it, because you don't want to be going through a lab and then being like, oh no, I don't have X, Y, or Z and I can't do the lab. Okay. So make sure you check as soon as you get it and email them if there's anything missing or broken, right? Obviously broken. You may not know right away. Okay. All right. Now there's my office hours are down here now, but the best way to really contact me about a problem, a question, you're in the middle of doing a lab and you got confused about something, which is 100% normal, so don't feel bad, is to text me at my cell phone. And this is my cell phone number down here. Now, if you text me after 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'm probably not going to get right back to you. I might get back to you. Who knows? I might be awake and I might be able to get back to you. But, think about maybe, that I probably will get back to you in the morning. Okay, so don't panic. You can always email me as well, but texting is actually just a lot better because I don't always check my email all the time, but texts come through all the time, right? Okay, so feel free to text me. There are no stupid questions, right? No stupid questions at all. Okay, now there is free tutoring through Randolph College and it's online, so you can meet with a tutor online. And in here, if you click on here, you'll see there's a link. You're gonna go to that link. You'll log in with your Randolph College login, and you'll be able to schedule online sessions with our great physics tutors. So if you ever need that, you can come to me, of course, but if you feel like I need extra stuff, right, extra help, all of you probably all of you are taking the lecture classes as well. And that may be where you really want that tutoring. Okay, so that should also be available through that site, through the Moodle site for that part of the class. I don't teach that, I teach the lab. So make sure that if you don't see it there, that you ask your professor, which is Dr. Soika, but you can schedule your tutoring for that class here. There's no difference, right? No problem, okay? The tutors will help you with whatever you need. If you feel like you are just not getting the math part of it, right? they'll help you with that. So, and it's all free. Okay, so let's take a look at kind of what should be your guide. Your guide for the rest of the session is this calendar. Now, if I were you, I would download this and print it out and have it up next to your desk or up on your wall or something, right? It tells you when everything is due. Now, let me explain a little bit. So anything you see in red, I know it's a little small on your screen, but if you go look, if you're following along maybe with this video on Moodle, you'll be able to read a little better. So anything in red is when something is due, okay? So at the very beginning of class, right? Class starts on the 11th, that's Thursday, today is Wednesday. You will have a few little quizzes, and these are meant to get you familiar with class, make sure you know a little bit about Excel, make sure you know about significant figures, statistics, right? Stuff like that. So you're going to have these are due, and you can see they're due by midnight. They are assignments on Moodle, really quizzes on Moodle. And so I'll show you where they are in a second, but you can see when they're due. So there's one due on Friday. That's just the introduction to class quiz. There's an Excel quiz due on Saturday. On Sunday, there's the pre-lab for lab 1, right? That also does some statistics, right? And then Martin Luther King Day is Monday, and we don't have anything due that day. Of course, you're free to work on that day if you want to, or take it off. The next day is the significant figures quiz. And then when you see something in green, this just means it's a suggested day. It doesn't mean you have to do it that day, but it's a suggested day to sit down and actually do the lab activities. So lab 1 has some activities to do, right? Like all the labs will. It's a suggested day. It's not, you don't have to do it that day, but it's a good way to structure your time, okay? Okay, now this isn't like some other online classes that you might have been familiar with, just have, you have to get everything done by the end of the session, and there's no due dates, but we have due dates here. It's really to try to help you, right? If you get stuck and you planned that you have to be away or something's going on and you can't get these things in on time, you just email me, okay? It's not a giant deal, but I really encourage you to not leave everything to the end, and then, right, we don't want to do that. So try to keep to the schedule. All right. And you can see then there's a lab 2 that has a pre-assignment that's due here, right? Now this one's not in red, so all the pre-assignments you can see are in black, but they are due on those days. All right. The first lab report is an oral report, and you'll see that you're going to just make a Zoom appointment with me, okay? I have some open times, and hopefully some of those times will work for you. If they don't work for you, you can email me and we'll figure something out. It's very short. It's just, I like to get to know my students a little, because sometimes people don't come to office hours and I never get to see them. Okay, so, but I'll show you all that. All right, now each lab has its own little section on Moodle. So let's scroll down. And for instance, here's the first one, Lab 1, Intro and Statistics. It tells you what kind of report. So these labs are, there's really 3 types of lab reports. Formal oral means that you're going to make an appointment with me and you're going to discuss some things about the lab. I'm going to ask you some questions, right? You're going to tell me how you did your experiment, show me your data. But there's 2 other types, okay? One is informal, and that usually takes the place of a quiz, right? It's like a little quiz about how you did the lab. It is on Moodle. It is not something that's live. You just have to take the quiz by a certain date. And then there's formal written, which is a real lab report. The first one where we have to do a formal written report is lab 3, and you'll get a lot of guidance about how to do those formal written reports, and you turn that in on Moodle. Okay. Anyway, but let's take a look at the structure of our lab 1 here. So here's a little to-do list that tells you all the things that are due that week. Okay. Notice that I put on here all those little quizzes, the intro to class quiz, the Excel quiz, right? So all of this is listed here. It's on the calendar as well. And then there's materials for you. There is a link to the lab manual. Okay. Like, what do I do for lab 1? Okay. There's this this is the quiz talked about, the intro to class. There's the Excel quiz, the pre-lab that also tells you a lot about statistics or reminds you. And then significant figures quiz. And then here is a link to schedule your oral report to me. Yeah. And then there's a question form that you can post questions to, and your other students in the class may help you, or right, someone may have a question that you know, and you might have a question that they know. And again, no stupid questions. Okay. Now here, you can see this is not ready for you yet. That's why it says hidden from students. That's for lab 2. But every section will have its, every lab will have its own section in Moodle. Okay. I hope this is relatively clear. You don't need your lab kit for the first 3 labs, so you got a little time to get that lab kit. I'm getting ready to send some emails to you to make sure that your addresses are correct that I'm going to send to. And then you'll get the lab kit in a couple days. You're going to check that lab kit. Don't just let it sit in the corner, because you don't need it till lab 4, but yeah, so check it. All right. Now, I think that's all I really need to tell you. All the information is in the syllabus, like how's the grading work, all of that stuff, okay? This should, if you keep up with this class, it's not supposed to be hard, right? Class is 7 weeks, which for a lot of you may be weird. It's a little long, a little short, little short. Typically about the same length as, you know, as a summer class. Sometimes summer classes are 6 weeks or 5 weeks. So it's a little longer, it's 7 weeks long, but that might be a shorter time scale than you're used to in your regular school experience. So make sure you keep up, right? So, and email us if you're having any problems. Okay, I think that's all I need to tell you, and I'll see you soon in class. Well, virtually. And again, there's no scheduled time that you have to be on Zoom or anything like that, except for that oral report, which you use schedule. Okay. All right, good luck, and we'll see you soon.